Have you ever just felt like you're tuned to a slightly different frequency than everyone else around you? Well, today we're going to dive into the signs that you might just have the world's rarest personality type. Let's just start with this right here, because it really gets to the core of it. If you just read that and had a little aha moment like, wow, that's me, then you are definitely in the right place. So we're talking about the INFJ personality type. People sometimes call them the advocate. That stands for introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging. It's this really unique cocktail of traits that makes them the rarest of all personality types. We're talking only about 1 to 2% of the population. So let's get into what that actually feels like. First up, let's talk about that deep, foundational feeling of just being a little bit different. Sound familiar? Yeah, this probably isn't a new feeling for you, is it? For a lot of INFJs, it's something that's been there since they were kids, this quiet, nagging sense of not quite fitting in, even when you couldn't possibly explain why. So where does that feeling come from? Well, a huge part of it has to do with your inner world. It's this incredibly vibrant, complex, and deeply personal place that we're going to explore right now. You know that feeling when you're stuck talking about the weather and it just feels like a total waste of breath? That's because you're not wired for the superficial. You crave depth. You want to talk about life, purpose, what makes people tick, the stuff that actually creates a real connection. And then there's this almost uncanny intuition. It's so much more than just a gut feeling. It's like you have this powerful internal compass. You can often just sense how a situation is going to play out or what someone is really feeling, even when you can't logically explain how you know. You just know. Your mind is pretty much never quiet, is it? It's always buzzing, thinking about the future, imagining all the possibilities, constantly searching for deeper meaning in everything. This is exactly why things like writing or art or music are so important. They give you a way to process everything that's going on inside. Okay, now we get to one of the most fascinating and honestly tricky parts of this personality type, what I like to call the empathetic paradox. And this is the absolute key. You don't just see someone's emotions from a distance. You're like an emotional sponge. When a friend is hurting, you feel that hurt too. When someone is stressed out, that anxious energy just seeps right into your system. It's an empathy that's so deep, it's absorbing. And here's that paradox in action. People probably see you as really warm and engaging, and you are. You love connecting with people. But what they might not see is the aftermath, that you absolutely need quiet and solitude to recharge your batteries. For you, being alone isn't about being lonely. It's essential. It's like plugging in your phone at the end of the day. Because you absorb so much from the world around you, your environment is everything. Loud, chaotic places can be physically draining, and conflict or constant negativity, it can feel like a full-on assault to your system. You just thrive in peace and harmony because your sensitivity dial is always turned up to max. So all of these traits, the empathy, the intuition, the need for peace, they're all guided by this incredibly strong internal framework. And that brings us to your compass of conviction. You see the world not just for what it is, but for what it could be, a place that's rooted in kindness, in integrity, in genuine connection. And because you have such a clear vision of that better world, it can be really, really painful when you see the world and the people in it fall short. And this inner compass really drives everything you do. It's what fuels that deep desire to help people grow and heal. It's why you are fiercely, unbelievably loyal to the very few people you let all the way in. It's why you're a perfectionist about the things that truly matter to you. And it's why you're so private. You have to protect that inner world. This leads to a famous, and often really misunderstood, INFJ trait, the door slam. Look, this is never, ever the first option. Peace is always the goal. But when someone repeatedly crosses your core values, you don't really explode. You just quietly start to withdraw. And if it keeps happening, you make the final decision to just cut off that emotional connection. It's not about being mean, it's the ultimate act of self-preservation. So we've got this complex mix of deep empathy, powerful intuition, and this unwavering moral compass. So what does it all mean? In our final section, let's talk about what you do with all of this. It's about embracing your rarity. And let's be honest, this is the heart of the struggle, isn't it? That deep, aching feeling of being profoundly misunderstood. You can try to explain the depth of what you're thinking or feeling, but the words never quite do it justice. And that can leave you feeling lonely, even when you're in a room full of people who care about you. So if any of this has been resonating with you, I really want you to let this next part sink in. First, and most importantly, you are not broken.
Feeling things this deeply and needing time to yourself doesn't make you strange.
And you are definitely not too sensitive or too intense or too much. You are simply wired differently. And this is the ultimate takeaway. Your depth, your intuition, your compassion, these are not flaws. They are your superpowers. Being this rare isn't a weakness, it's a gift. Which really just leaves us with one last powerful question. Knowing that your unique way of seeing the world is a strength, a necessary and beautiful part of it, how will you choose to use your gift?